This recording is to help you understand the purpose and administration and interpretation of the DEESSA Mini. What is it? The DEESSA Mini consists of 4 different forms that have an 8 questionnaire item for you to answer. It is a standardized normed reference behavior rating scale for the social emotional learning competencies. It should be completed by teachers or school staff as a team. It is a strength-based assessment and has a 5-point scale. The rating is based on the performance over the past 4 weeks. So therefore, you will have to have observed the student for 4 weeks prior to administering this survey. It yields a social emotional total which shows strengths in social emotional learning. It can also show growth of social emotional skills over a period of time. So therefore, it is a screening universally as well as a progress monitoring tool. How will we use it at Special School District? We will use it to identify strengths of our students. We will also use it to identify areas for growth in which we can then focus social emotional interventions. And we will use it to monitor progress of the growth of social emotional competencies. To complete it, you must find a quiet place free from distractions. Smile. You will base the ratings on your direct observations, not those that you have known in the past or what others have reported. You will consider only the past 4 weeks of your observations. Rating is based on the number of times that the behavior was observed within that 4-week period. You will answer every item. If you can't answer an item, then you really do not have the knowledge to complete the assessment, and you need to ask someone else who has closer contact with that student to complete the assessment. This is a screenshot of the recording form. As you can see, Section A is demographic information, including the child's name, your name, date of birth, gender, age, grade, all of those things. Then you will notice on B, that is your item score. So this is your 5-point rating system. C is where you would write that score number for that particular item. And then D is where you would total those scores of all 8 items. E gives you the standard score, which you will find on the back of the form with a conversion chart where you will take the raw score and find that standard score as well as a percentile rank. F, at the bottom of the front of the form, gives you a place to write recommendations. You may also write observations here or clarifications as to why you might have given the rating you did. This is the standardized directions for the form. This form describes a number of behaviors seen in some children. Read the statements that follow the phrase during the past 4 weeks. How often did the child blank? And place a check mark in the box underneath the word that tells how often you saw the behavior. Answer each question carefully. There are no right or wrong answers. Please answer every item. If you wish to change your answer, put an X through it and fill in your new choice. Please make sure you're actually using an actual protocol for this. Please do not photocopy them as they are protected by copyright. If you need more forms, please contact Molly Bolton to order some for you. For the scoring, you will copy the ratings into the score line. You will then add those scores and record that in the raw scores sum. Using the norms table on the back of the form, you will convert that raw score to derived scores and percentile ranks. It will also give you a descriptor of where that student falls according to the norms. To give you a little bit more definition of what each of those things mean, the raw score is basically the rating that you've given. The standard score is comparing that student's score to that of other children in that standardized sample or norm sample. The percentile rank compares the child's behavior to that of other children who have been rated and indicates the percentage of children in that standardized sample who earned that same or a lower raw score. For example, 65 means 65% of the children in the standardized sample earned the same or a lower raw score. Often I like to think of it as people standing in a line, 1 to 100, and it's where that student would fall in that line compared to those 100 other people. The T-score is the standard score with a mean of 50 and a standard deviation of 10. These are the most comparable scores and should be used for reporting purposes. This is a statistical analysis. The T-scores descriptors then have a rating. So, for 60 and above of this T-score, this skill would be considered a strength. For 41 to 59, this skill would be considered typical development. And for 40 and below, it is a need for instruction. The chart on the back helps you interpret the T-scores. You do not have to do a statistical analysis. We will be using this for progress monitoring of social emotional scores. It will be given 3 times a year, like our other assessments, fall, winter, and spring. The only difference is in the fall, you will need to wait 4 weeks from the start of school before administering this. So you have that 4-week observational window. So therefore, this assessment will not be due in EduClimber until later in the fall. For winter and spring, it would follow the same windows. The only exception would be if you had a new student who came in and you wanted to complete this assessment, you would again need to wait the 4 weeks for the observation period. It should be rated by the same person if possible. Our recommendation is that it be the classroom teacher. You will record on the progress monitoring form. Again, please do not photocopy these forms. They are copyrighted. If you need more forms, please contact Molly Bolton. This is the second form you will complete. This is the progress monitoring form. This form takes the 3 rating forms that you've done for the progress monitoring piece and puts them all on one. You will notice again, there is room for the demographic information. B is the date of the administration of the assessments and the person who rated it. C gives you the T-score, and D is where you will graph those T-score results. You will see test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, and then the rating across the side. There are 4 forms, so this could be given quarterly. However, we have determined at this point we are doing it 3 times a year. E gives you a place for notes and comments again. Here are some examples of some progress forms that have been filled out. As you can see, the graphing of the results gives you an immediate look at if that student is making progress in those social emotional competencies. Because our students are with us because of social emotional deficits, we do anticipate that most of our students will fall in the area of need. However, what we'd like to do with this tool is pinpoint skills that we might focus on for intervention, as well as measure the progress of those skills. They do have an evaluating growth grid, and this helps us look at the magnitude of change. So it tells us if how much they grow and what that may mean as far as intervention changes or maintaining interventions, or possibly even considering a change of placement. If you have any questions, please contact Molly Bolton. Also, you will be entering these scores into EduClimber. Look for those directions in the District Assessment Testing Directions packet. Thank you.